For today's entry in my Best of 2025 series, we're going for the random assortment. These are the games that either didn't fit into any one particular category, or the category itself was too small to dedicate to a full video. So, please enjoy a random selection of some of my favorite games from the year. While Bullet Heavens were not as big in 2025 compared to some other years, we still played a few really solid ones that deserve a mention. The first one goes to Rogue Genesia. This is one that we played in early access quite a bit while it was in development, and it was finally released at 1.0. This is the kind of like billboard style like roguelite Bullet Heaven, as you explore a variety of environments, gain power, and of course go through so many meta upgrades and meta systems. It does a great job introducing a lot of persistent upgrades that make the game harder, that add more stuff, etc, etc. And it certainly deserves credit for being one of the more, I guess like quote-unquote modern examples of Bullet Heaven games that did something differently and did feel really great to play, which is also a great segue into our next title. But if you didn't miss this one and are missing out on some Bullet Heavens through 2025, it is an easy recommendation. Now, our next Bullet Heaven is one that really did do something very solid, providing a fresh coat of paint on the art style and a different way of gameplay, and that goes to Kill the Music. This is a rhythm-focused Bullet Heaven, as your powers are your bandmates and you must tap to the rhythm in order to unleash your best attacks and survive the myriad of enemies. I really like the art style for this one, and unlike a lot of the other Bullet Heavens that we've played, this one does feature a very interesting story, as you're trying to save your bandmate's soul from the Grim Reaper. And of course, you'll be doing that by going on different runs, unlocking more and more challenges, more abilities, and so on. Being able to choose how hard you make each segment and get subsequent rewards is a really solid touch as well. And of a lot of the more recent Bullet Heaven games, this one does feel the most interesting to play. And while it doesn't quite reach like the highs of something like Picayune Dreams I enjoyed from a few years ago, it's still a very inventive and original take on the Bullet Heaven. So this one is for the rhythm fans. So if you're looking for a little bit of punk rock to go with your Bullet Heavening, then definitely give this one a play. A big budget rage game was certainly not on the cards for 2025, but with help from Bennett Body, Baby Steps was released. The very slow walking simulator as you try to explore a land with a person who just recently discovered that they can put one foot in front of the other and start moving. This is certainly not going to be the game for everybody. It's another game that I need to try and get back to when we can find the time. But if you are someone looking for a very different take on walking, and once again don't mind a little bit of rage, it is certainly worth a peek or a few steps into. Our next pick kind of falls into many different categories. Is it part incremental? Is it part tower defense? Is it a roguelite? But my next pick goes to Outhold. This was a tower defense style game where the entire premise is you do maps, collect resources, build up your very, very large perk tree, and then complete different goals, get more resources to grow in power, and you get the picture. This is the closest a tower defense game has gotten for me for like kind of scratching that same itch as the Gemcraft games, albeit on a far smaller scale. The perk tree is really well done, allowing you to kind of branch into different paths, which will create different builds. And the game will kind of challenge you to create builds to match the different challenges if you won't go for all the rewards. Not the longest game by any stretch of the imagination, but it does do things just different enough to separate it from a lot of the other tower defense, incrementals, and so on games. So if you are a tower defense fan looking for something a little bit differently, or you really enjoy the Gemcraft games and missing that same kind of feeling, then this one definitely deserves your time. Our next pick is a game that is, well, not quite a game, but a viewing experience, and that goes to Blippo Plus, the homage to every FMV game ever released in the 90s, as you watch a variety of programs from an alien world and learn about their strange culture, and perhaps learn the kind of meta-narrative that's going on behind the scenes. If you are someone, again, who loves the cheesiness that goes with FMV, this is a very easy, not so much play, but certainly a watch that you should definitely check out. And our last pick for the other category this year is a game that, well, the name doesn't tell you anything about it, and that goes to Roguelite Deck Builder. Not to be confused with a roguelike deck builder, as you are building a deck with a roguelite that is flashing behind you, and yes, it is as strange or stranger than it sounds. You're just, well, building a deck and trying to get those lovely nails into their respective boards. The game has been upgraded over the year with kind of seasonal play, more nails to nail, more decks to build, and even more persistence and oddities to go with it. So if you are someone who loves a little bit of home improvement and really likes hitting nails with hammers, then give this one a play, and we'll see what other roguish decks we may get in the future. So that does it for another category. We just have 2 left before the finale. What are some of your favorite games that didn't quite, fit into a particular genre of 2025? And are there any other unusual games that you're excited about in 2026? Let me know down in the comments. And with that, we'll be back for some more discussions, more games, and hopefully wrapping up this series real soon. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more of my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.